With fame comes attention, and it's not always the right type. So it makes sense for the celebrities of this world to invest in the best bodyguards to help them keep safe at all times. But while some bodyguards might just pass for any old guy on the street, the ones on this list are different. They will stop at nothing to keep their employer safe. Make sure to stick around until the end to hear about the bodyguard who beat a man up at a funeral who was trying to talk to his client. Before we scare you with some of these incredible bodyguards, make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and join our notification squad. Also, check out our community section to connect with other loyal fans. Now let's get into 10 biggest celebrity bodyguards you don't want to fight. Kendrick Lamar. It's not an exaggeration to say that Kendrick Lamar's bodyguard is a giant, but it doesn't help that Kendrick himself is only 5'4" in the first place. And a July 2018 picture of the pair in Australia on tour did nothing to dispel the rumors that Kendrick's bodyguard is a full 50% taller than he is. Thanks to the rapper's latest announcement of banning professional photographers and cameras from his tour, we're sure that he probably doesn't want his picture taken by paparazzi either. And thanks to his bodyguard's huge bulk and glaring expression, we know that we sure wouldn't risk getting any images of this star, no matter how much we're getting paid. Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner's terrifying but super hot bodyguard is called Tim Chung, and the internet is convinced that he's actually the real father of Stormi. But that's a story for another time. Tim has all the skills required to be a top quality bodyguard. Before he worked for Kylie, he was an LAPD cop. He also loves to play basketball, and he definitely has the height to tower over anyone who gets too close to Kylie. Apart from all of that, Tim also refers to himself as an entrepreneur, model, and actor. Cardi B. Cardi B's bodyguards took things one step too far when it came to protecting the rap star, and they were almost arrested for assault. A 33-year-old Bronx man asked the pregnant star for an autograph outside of her hotel in May of 2018. But even when she declined, he didn't back down and got closer to her. One of her bodyguards allegedly pushed the man to the ground, while another allegedly kicked him in the head. The three men fled the scene, and the victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition. If this story tells us anything, it's to never mess with a celebrity bodyguard, especially not one of Cardi B's. Drake. Drake's bodyguard is another that apparently doesn't know what the limit is when it comes to doing his job. Rapper Detail filed a lawsuit against Drake and his bodyguard. He claimed that Drake's bodyguard, Chubbs, broke his jaw after he showed up at Drake's mansion, which he reportedly had an invitation to. Photos emerged online of the apparent assault and showed Detail lying in a hospital bed with wires attached to his body. The injuries left Detail in the hospital for several days, and he requested multiple surgeries. Drake claims that Chubbs only fought back in self-defense and that he didn't do anything out of malice, but the case was thrown out in 2018, so Drake and Chubbs no longer have to worry about it. Kim Kardashian. You might recognize Pascal Duvier, Kim Kardashian's bodyguard, from when she was robbed at gunpoint in Paris back in 2016. Kim's extortionately priced diamond ring was stolen, and no one was quite sure how the robber got past Pascal. There's definitely a lot of him to get past. This bodyguard is an ex-army man with some serious muscle to boot. At 6'3" and weighing 266 pounds, he can make a serious physical impact if he needs to. Pascal maintains his own body and impressive strength with frequent trips to the gym. He also practices martial arts and could easily jump into any intense judo routine if he ever needs to protect Kim in an emergency. However, he made the personal decision to stop working for Kim just 1 month after the Paris incident. Adele and Lady Gaga. Adele and Lady Gaga have both had Peter Van Der Veen as their bodyguard. Although Peter might be a former Mr. Europe, he's actually not as nice as he looks. Even Lady Gaga's fans were shocked when he once physically pulled an enthusiastic fan away from the star using the chokehold method, which can be fatal if executed for too long or incorrectly. The guard grabbed the man roughly to allow Lady Gaga to walk past and get into her car. We're sure that she appreciated the protection, but did he really need to be so violent? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is known for her sassy attitude, but she still needs some physical protection when it comes to staying safe. And her bodyguards will stop at nothing to make sure that she is happy and feels protected. But this determination to look out for the star came at a cost during the 2013 New York Fashion Week, and they seemingly got their priorities mixed up. Nicki was trying to walk through crowds of people, and her bodyguards were there to make sure that she could get through easily. But while this was happening, they accidentally trampled Stella Bugbee in the process, who is the editorial director of fashion website The Cut. Angelina Jolie. Mark Billingham, Angelina Jolie's former bodyguard, spent 27 years in the SAS. However, he says that his toughest gig was guarding Brangelina and their 6 children. He must have done a good job as their bodyguard, as he was promoted to head of security for the family. It seems Mark's methods were smarter than most bodyguards, because he knew exactly how to keep strange people away for good. But some people were still determined to get too close, despite being fully aware of Mark's imposing figure. Rather than physically attacking anyone who got too close, Mark used his intelligence and contacts to keep Brad and Angelina safe. He even once had someone who was stalking Angelina arrested. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's bodyguard takes no prisoners, and that includes attacking a grieving relative at a funeral. It seems that someone noticed Snoop Dogg at comedian Ricky Harris's funeral and got too close for Snoop's comfort. But instead of his bodyguard politely and quietly telling the man to back off, he saw red and immediately went for him. Onlookers were furious at the commotion, especially as it turned out to be Ricky's mentally ill nephew who had been the one trying to speak to Snoop. Eventually, the police arrived, but no one was arrested because both parties decided to leave the scene before it got even more heated. Justin Bieber. One celeb whose bodyguard does whatever he likes is Justin Bieber. Known for occasionally being bratty and getting whatever he wants, the newly engaged singer noticed a photographer trying to snap a subtle picture of him and freaked out. He asked his bodyguard to retrieve the onlooker's memory card and beat him up at the same time. Justin is said to have told his guard, "Go get his memory card and do whatever you have to get that card." The poor snapper reportedly received a chokehold for his trouble and was body slammed onto a car. That's all for the 10 biggest celebrity bodyguards you don't want to fight. Which one do you think you'd feel safest with? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.